What's up, Guru Nation? Let's demystify clinical research.
Guru Nation, welcome back to another episode. I'm with my coordinator. We have Daisy Villanueva. She's her LinkedIn's underneath this video, by the way. We're gonna start with that. LinkedIn, everybody go network, connect. The market's hot. Coordinating. How long you been coordinating now with Yuma Clinical Trial? It's like literally your last day with me is right now. This is the last moment we have is this for Yuma Clinical Trial.
Yeah. It's been 9 months.
9 months?
Yeah. It's almost my birthday.
Yeah, your birthday is in October?
September.
Oh, September. Oh, your birthday for working here. Or your actual birthday.
No, like my actual birthday.
Is in September?
Yeah.
I thought it was in October.
No, it's in September.
When
September.
is it?
24.
Ah, so we won't miss your birthday. Okay. Well, everybody tell Daisy happy birthday because it's probably going to be out before that. Okay. So for those that don't know your story, you used to work at AMC, Academic Medical Center, UC San Diego. And then you worked there how long?
3 years.
3 years?
3 years.
Oh, even I didn't know that. I thought it was only 1 year.
3 years.
3 years.
Mm-hmm.
But it was so streamlined. Like compared to what we do, like how does that work compared to like a small clinic? Like
it was more than anything, I would say, more of a assistant type of position comparing it to here. We just didn't go that in depth to the protocol and deviations, training logs, IP accountability. We didn't do all of that. So it was just mainly focusing on recruitment and data entry.
okay, and then they paid you relatively well.
Yes.
And then you decided to work for a startup where we're not known for necessarily paying well. I mean, we pay well for Yuma standards, but from what you were getting to what we were, but what was the rationale for making that move?
I moved for personal reasons. It was just too much time away from my son. The drive was a little bit far away from me. And then I decided to look for another job just because I honestly started getting bored at home, just being a stay-at-home mom. So I started looking and I messaged, the person that had posted the, and that's how I met all of you guys, and that's how it happened. It was all super quick.
So if you had to break down the differences between, and you've basically been here long enough to, you're almost been a year, the pros and cons of AMC, because now you're going to go to U of A, another AMC. Can you kind of break down, because there's people watching that haven't worked at either, and maybe they have a choice, like the pros and cons from what you've seen so far. Obviously, you can't talk about U of A yet.
I would say the pros of working for, a bigger academic CRO, it's going to be more organized, that's for sure. More organization, more structure. Training, I wouldn't say the training is going to be better.
What do you mean by more organized, though? Like, what is, exactly like what?
You'll have SOPs for everything, literally for everything.
Like sending an email.
No, maybe not that. Maybe not that, but well, actually, yeah. Even you'll have templates for sending emails too. Yeah. You're right. So yeah, so that's how I would say. Is one of the big differences.
And you have to follow it too.
You do have to follow it. Yeah, it's very specific to the protocol. You can't. They don't want you deviating from anything that the sponsor or IRB approves. And site level, it's you have to be a little bit more resourceful, but that's where the fun comes in.
At the AMC?
No, here at the site level, yeah.
Okay.
But it's honest, to me it's fun. It's fun to be able to have that kind of flexibility, to be creative and to do kind of things on your own terms. I think that's fun.
You exercise a different muscle.
Yeah, exactly.
And like, what was some of your favorite things that you got with us that you didn't get, like with a small site that you didn't have with the AMC?
I could pretty much like reach out to anybody. When it comes to like the subjects or the patients that we're trying to enroll, I could reach out to pretty much anybody. It didn't have to just be somebody from the clinic. It could be people coming from the ads, from the leads, even like friends, family.
You did good with that. Shout out to One in Health. Mm-hmm. We did they sponsor now too.
Yes.
Shout out to them. They saved our
great.
study.
Mm-hmm.
I say they saved their study. You say the same, or?
They were very helpful. I could have spent my time like a bunch of hours in one day looking for people on the database, but it was a lot more helpful to just click on that on the website for the leads and just call people from there. They were already pre-qualified, so it made my life a lot easier.
So reaching out to patients, you actually like that. Some people would say they don't like that. Like, Daisy, that sounds crazy. That's not fun.
What do you mean?
Like, you said it's fun to like reach out to patients. Some people watching may say that doesn't sound like fun. Like, I don't want to do that.
I mean, I guess it depends on everybody's personality, but if you're just stuck on your laptop the entire day with no interaction, like no human interaction, like to me that's boring.
Is that what it was, like almost out of the AMC? Like that kind of?
It can be. With me, no, it wasn't like that, but it can be like that.
I see.
They kind of compartmentalize every role.
But like over there at UCSD, you guys were all like in one office, like this kind of?
No, we never had our own office. My site, we never had our own office.
Where did you go every day?
We would just kind of, we would go wherever they had space for that day because...
It was like a cubicle or?
No, it could have been an exam room or it could have been the waiting area, the patient waiting area.
So
it could have been the break room, yeah. Taking my laptop with me everywhere.
And your coworkers?
Same thing. Trying to find a spot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, with us, sometimes it feels that way too, but...
Yeah. Well... I wouldn't say
no,
because we've always had our own little spot. I haven't had to worry about like where am I going to work out of today,
I see. So you think that's like interesting? I didn't know that. I thought everyone like, because I've monitored at UC San Francisco, and like when I went, everyone had like a cubicle, or like they had like common areas like this where first come first serve, you just sit down.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that's what it was like over there. And what did you like? What are some skills you learned here that you would have never got if you stayed at AMC that you can leverage your career forward?
I would say EDC, everything having to do with EDC.
You never did EDC before here?
I did, but not to this extent. Now I'm the go-to person for queries. I'm the go-to person for making sure EDC matches to the source or eSource match, so I couldn't have done that over there. Yeah, it's been several
Why, they had
things.
other people doing just that?
Yeah. They had a role for everything.
Okay, when lately, because out of necessity, you've been sort of mentoring the new people.
Yes.
Which, did you ever do that at the AMC?
Yeah, I was the senior over there too, so yeah.
Okay. That's like, to me, I noticed that like from day one, you were like very good with, and maybe it's because of your experience at the AMC, you're like very good with managing people, even if you're not like in charge of them, but like handling a situation. And, I mean, you saw some stuff like in a startup, you get chaos sometimes.
Yeah.
Maybe? Like
a lot of the times.
Did you see chaos like that at the AMC?
Not as much. If there was chaos, it was more for other things, not so much for, you mean like vendors and stuff, and
just like amongst coworkers, like.
Well, colleagues, not
like
as much.
Drama and stuff.
If there was drama, it was worse.
Yeah. Oh, it was worse at the AMC.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow.
But that was my experience.
Worse
I wouldn't
than what
say
we sat through.
Yeah.
For like a week or so?
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty bad. What about like management at AMC compared to small site?
Just in my experience, I didn't have the best management. They were not supportive. You know, I always go back to the interview because I always say
At
that
the
was
AMC.
yeah, that was the best interview I ever had. Like it went so well, and I felt so great after it. And I just hadn't experienced like that level of interview before. So their interview was amazing. And at the interview, they were telling me that they would support me every step of the way. But once I started working, it was like the complete opposite. I was just left alone. And my only other experience was at the hospital. So I had no research experience. So I was starting from zero by myself without like anybody, you know.
And then here, like different?
Yeah, different. I mean, you've been super supportive, and you know that my other colleagues here have as well. But the difference is I already had an idea about what I was doing.
Yeah.
So
You came in kind of knowing,
yeah,
more or less. You got to see, at least I hope, like a different perspective. Like we kind of have to fight for our patients to get them randomized a lot of times. Because the default answer for a lot of these vendors is no, like screen fail. And I feel like that's like kind of a AMC attitude of like, let's not do more work for this patient because it's like, it's just more work. Let's just screen fail them and tomorrow's another patient. I feel like that's the attitude, and I feel like with a smaller site like us, there is not a guarantee of a next patient. So you do what you can to get the ones you have in. And you saw some of that. And some people may call that patient advocacy. Others may call that it's your incentive. But the two can be right at the same time too.
yeah,
Like it doesn't have to be like separate things. They could be related. That's one of the for-profit sites. That's kind of, you are incentivized to randomize people. But that doesn't mean you can't be a patient advocate. And it doesn't mean the patients don't want the same thing too. And so you get to be in the middle of some of those fights, maybe? They're not, I don't think they're fights, but like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
so hopefully you learn a thing or two from that you can take on to AMC, where, I mean, I would love to think U of A has patient advocacy, but I don't know. I went there, but as a student, and I didn't work for them. So hopefully you can take that attitude to the AMC, because if you bring like small business mindset to a AMC, I think it's like the best combo, because they have all the resources, but then what they lack is like ambition. Everyone's just sitting around waiting to get promoted, and like no one wants to make mistakes, you know. So maybe it's something you can bring to there. What's your goal for like the next phase of your career? Besides leaving us here, like,
I just want to grow as much as I can. I want to see how high up I can go, and eventually, I want to feel confident enough to have my own site.
you still want to do that.
Yeah,
I'm glad you brought
sometime
it
in
up,
the future,
because
yeah.
I didn't want to know if you're going to get in trouble or not. Okay, so you do want to have your own site.
Yes, sometime in the future. I don't know when, but yeah.
Why?
I just wanna have provide a better life for my family, my son, my family.
Do you think that a stable, like, that's still better than a stable job?
It depends, right? I know there's people that prefer
Pros and cons.
stability, and I know that's an extremely stable position to
Yeah,
have.
because most people like don't want that. Like Katie, who's here, I've had this talk with her. She's like, the last thing she wants to do is like think about having a site.
Yeah.
So it's like inside.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess it just depends on who you ask, because I know on the one hand stability is, way better because you know you're going to have something to fall back on, and having your own site, it's like a whole different, thing.
Yeah.
You're stressed every day, maybe. I don't know. You tell me.
Well,
But that's how I picture myself. I would be. You know.
if you want to do it, you're gonna do it regardless. The Good to Great. It's a good book. Everyone should read. The enemy of great is good enough. The enemy of great is not bad. The enemy of great is good enough. Like, you're doing good enough to where, why would I risk it all to try to provide a great lifestyle, right? In the case of owning a site, it's like you make your own schedule, all that stuff, right? And you're still paying yourself. Like, that's considered great, but good enough might be a high salary job. So that's the danger for you, or others like you watching. Like, we're using you as a symbol for others also, but it is yourself, because there is like archetype that is like Daisy out there, many actually. So that's something to keep in mind. You're gonna come to SOS, Save Our Sites.
If you invite me.
You've already been invited, Daisy. Don't act different on camera. We've invited you already. You coming?
Yeah.
All right, we got it.
Yeah.
And you try to get your colleagues to come.
I'll try.
It's on U of A, like it's their place. Okay, anybody want to go connect? LinkedIn, still the place, right?
Yes.
Oh, tell me. Okay, before we go, I'm on a lot of clinical research stuff, but never on Reddit. But I'm hearing it not just from you the other day. You told me like, oh, Reddit. Brad tells me, Fox, the lady we interviewed here with Daniel 2 weeks ago, that I can't put her interview, told me Reddit. Everybody's getting info from Reddit. What is on there that I'm missing out on? Like, what did you learn on Reddit? And share with us.
So Reddit has a bunch of sub forums, and a lot of people. I'm sure you know that already. I'm like explaining.
Well,
it
I
to
know
you,
that,
like,
but like, what is it about
tomatoes.
research? Like, what are you talking about?
So they talk about like everything. Like, they'll talk about the mass layoffs. They even talked about like CVS whenever CVS closed down, and they'll talk about memes. They'll talk about like, I hate my manager. They'll talk about all sorts of things. Like, is your CRA as dumb as mine? So
Serious?
yeah, they'll talk about everything.
Did you post on this?
I've posted on it before.
What did you say?
I don't remember, but it's fine. Like, it's a good way to
Wow.
kind of like network incognito, I guess, if you don't want anybody to know.
you could be anonymous.
Yeah, nobody
I
knows
see.
who you are.
But how do you trust what you're reading if they're all anonymous? Like,
I mean, you can always double check. You can always
Yeah.
Google, you know,
interesting.
because it's true. Like, there's a lot of misinformation in the internet, but if it's something that really matters to you, then just look it up. You know.
So is it more like entertaining, or is it like actual like something more than entertainment that keeps you going back?
It's like, it isn't entertainment, but it's also just to kind of be in the know, you know.
I see.
Of
Am I
what's
missing
going
out
on.
by not being on there?
I think so.
Really?
Yeah. I've seen people steal your memes before. Because I know you do your own memes. And
I'm
I've
making them
seen
myself
I've
right
seen
here.
them post literally the meme that you posted like a day before or something.
Yeah, because I don't
And-
put my signature on the meme.
So it's really funny. I keep going back for that and just to be in the know. They talk
You
about.
should come to my defense. This is my boss Dan's meme.
Then they'll know who I
Oh,
am.
they don't know who you are. I got you.
That's the thing. You want to. I mean, you could. You could announce to everybody in there, like, "Hey, I'm Dan
I'll go in there
Sfera."
not anonymous.
You
Like,
could.
yeah,
You
I will.
could. There's celebrities that have done that on Reddit before.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
you definitely
I
could.
didn't realize like until you mentioned it the last time, because I kept hearing about it from others. Like recently, all in the last few months, like Reddit. So I wonder if it's like taking off on research, because
Yeah.
I know it's been around forever, but for research specifically.
Yeah.
Interesting.
definitely.
So you'll keep doing it. You'll keep using Reddit.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. You got to show me. We'll stay in touch even after you're gone. One of the things is like I keep networking with staff even after they leave, because you never know. Like, we can help each other out. Maybe there's a study like private-public partnership kind of thing. Or there's always like networking opportunities. And then if you want to start a site, we can definitely talk about that too when you're ready, which we already did privately, but
Yes.
it still stands. It's just
We might make another video sometime some years in the future. Who knows?
We might. You never know. So you went from AMC where you had a kind of semi-bad experience, would you say? Is that fair to say? Like
Yeah.
semi-bad,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
To small clinic where you had semi-good?
It restored my faith in being happy at work. So yeah.
Well, that's way better than semi-good. But let's just say semi-good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, because pay is not as competitive, whatever. And now you're going back to the same kind of place that you said you had semi-bad experience.
Mm-hmm.
Are you nervous?
I am nervous, yeah, definitely. But I'm excited, but I'm very nervous about it too. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, but the good news is you have like all these years of experience now, and the market's hot,
Yes.
and you're a Reddit power user, so you know how to find opportunities. Right, and her LinkedIn's underneath. Recruiters, now I don't care. Hit up Daisy.
I know, I always do that, right?
Now I got to do it. Like, subscribe, comment, share, guys. All right, her LinkedIn's there. Bye-bye. That was good, huh?